Hello again. Today we'll discuss the farce called the rules based order and its denouement. Of late, we have Mark Carney from Canada and many others all over the world decrying the end of the rules based order that they have known for a lifetime. One would like to ask them who or what made these rules and for what purpose. Frankly, I believe they were designed by the West, made by the West, for the benefit of the West, ignoring the rest, one might add. In specific, it was a post World War II framework of laws, institutions, norms designed for the benefit of the West. It was primarily a system that was western-centric and failed to incorporate the non-Western world except in some token form. The applications of this rules-based order was neither fair nor balanced, particularly regarding the influence of powerful nations. It is purely a power play disguised as rules. A lot of countries, including China, accuse the Western countries of invoking the concept to demonize China and impose Western hegemony. Similar complaints have been heard once in a while from other countries too. Now, it must be remembered that the US, with its ally UK and others, had subordinated Japan and Germany after World War II, and Soviet Union too during the Cold War. And the US paid for Europe's recovery so that it would extend its empire or influence all the way to the Soviet border. The Marshall Plan and other such donations by the US were primarily to build up Europe as a bulwark against Russia, for example, or the Soviet Union. Now, when the Soviet Union imploded in 1989, let's remember, it led the US political parties, both of them, Democrats and Republicans, into what Robert Wolfe calls it a historical moment, which essentially was the beginning of the unipolar moment that Mearsheimer calls it. The fantasy of manifest destiny was back in action. The US, as the great hegemony or the hegemon of the world, came into US political calculations. The delusions were built around the concept of the manifest destiny yet again. Now, part of the delusions was that the dirty manufacturing factories from the Midwest, from the Rust Belt as we called it, could easily be moved to places with lower regulations, lower wages, and fewer people who would protest. You know where that's heading. And the US would reign supreme and dictate to the world where dirty yet profitable manufacturing occurs, with the profits and cheap goods being enjoyed by the USA. Well, the Walmarts of the world had a heyday, and the people in the US were happy to flock to Walmart and get things real cheap, didn't they? And for 3 decades, might I add. Now, this was the whole world now being ruled. So it seems, using the rules based order that the West benefited from and the rest of the world had little to say, but had to get over it, lest it would be slapped back into compliance by the bishops of the rules based order, the guardians of the free world, led by the USA. Thus, globalization, now a dirty word to some, took shape under the US direction and profiteering. Then, over time, the rules got hijacked to serve the purpose of those who favored and benefited from globalization. Now, let's not leave Wall Street as a simple player here. Wall Street profited, 401ks profited, you and I did profit from this globalization for a long time now. And then, by those who made billions hoisting various social engineering projects and environmental regulations on the hapless people of the world, whether they liked it or not. that was to come. Environmental regulations, after shifting all crappy factories to the third world, those regulations were designed here to say, you barbarians had better not be that dirty. Interesting, isn't it? Now that President Trump has ripped out the farce of the rules-based order by promoting national interest and sphere of influences as the only thing that really matters to the US, where does it leave the bishops of the rules-based order? The self-appointed bishops, I might add. Now they are seen complaining even as their masks are being torn away. The naked promotion of national interest by the USA under Trump now has shown away the halo of glory that the self-appointed bishops of the rules-based order glorified themselves with. Now the new shift in geopolitics represents a shift back to raw power politics, back to challenging sovereignty claims. Nothing is sovereign anymore. It's transactional, it can be bought. Gone are the good sounding slogans of non-aggression, economic cooperation, etc. Those things just are good words, good sounding policies as long as it benefits the powerful. The current reality finds those bishops of the rules-based order scrambling for new partners so that they can make and hoist some new set of rules that benefit them again. Herein lies the challenges for them. The rest of the world is and will be wary of the motives going forward. So what emerges now is open season, new rules being hoisted or at least designed to see how the world should proceed ahead. Interesting times indeed.